Now, part one of this is what does a deer see? And we want to talk about what colors do a deer see. There's so many myths out here, it's unbelievable. I've heard that deer are colorblind. I heard that deer can see hunter orange. I've heard that, that deer do not see well at all. They're almost blind in the daytime. You name it, I've heard it. And most of the time it comes from people with observations that they have seen, okay? Here are the scientific facts, and it came from the University of Georgia, the Deer Research Facility that was set up in the early 1960s, possibly in the late 1950s, by Dr. Jim Jenkins. Dr. Jim Jenkins was an avid hunter. He absolutely loved white-tailed deer. And really, there was very little that people knew about the white-tailed deer. Now, it's under the direction now of Dr. Warren, along with Dr. Carl Miller, my understanding. We'd really love to see that facility one day. Now, one of the reasons why I like the Deer Research Facility at the University of Georgia is because it's in the southeast, and I hunt the southeast, okay? The fact is that there are a lot of deer research facilities all over the United States. Now, this is what they found about color. And they made their studies, they joined together with the Vision Department of the University of California at Santa Barbara. Also, Energizer Battery came on board and developed a lot of different colors with different hues and tones and all that stuff of LED lights to help them with this study. This is what they came up with. Deer see in bichromatic color. In other words, they see two colors, distinctive colors, and that is blue and yellow. Us as humans see in trichromatic colors. In other words, three basic colors: blue, yellow, and red. Now, what happens whenever you mix these colors together? Because that's how we see so many different colors across the spectrum, is because the rods that come into our eyes, whether it's yellow, blue, orange, and all this stuff, depending on how many rods of one thing, we see different colors. What happens if you take blue and you mix it with yellow? It's a very simple test. Get you some food dye, get you some water in a cup, pour you some blue in there, get you another cup, pour you some yellow in it with the food dye, mix them together. What do you have? Green. All right, so if you mix all the colors together, then we have a different variety of things. But they have found this in the deer, and that is that deer see blue a whole lot more vividly than we do. So what we may see in just ordinary blue jeans, a deer might see in that color, real bright. Here's a simple thing that I found just last year hunting early bow season. I was hunting at a farm. It was a wooded area, and there were some roads that was cut into this wooded area. Now, behind me was a water section, and there was a trail that led from the fields up through, and the deer would come out on these roads and would cut through it. Now, the farmer had some blue barrels, 55-gallon drums that were stacked up in that area. Farmers keep everything, okay, because one day they can use it. In the early morning hours, there was a doe that came out, and it had a yearling dogging behind her. She walked down the road in front of me. She got almost to those blue barrels, jumped off of the road, walked through the woods, went past the blue barrels, jumped back up on the road, and went back to bedding. I hunted there all afternoon. I mean, all day, all afternoon. That evening, the deer came back and did the exact same thing right there in front of those blue barrels. So it brings consistency, and it brings proof that yes, they do see blue, and I believe that they do see it in a different color. But the University of Georgia has found it to be so. Now, understanding that, the colors of yellow and blue to make green does not make a good choice for us whenever we hunt with green camos. Why is that? Because there is a certain distinguished color between the leaves that are around us and our camos. The fact is that this might be green to us, but to a deer, it could have more of a blue tint and just stick out. We're just sitting here saying, hey, look at us, we're hunters, okay? But it's hard to find any type of camos in the Southeast that does not have green in it. Now, you can, and I found this to be more helpful, staying away from the green colors, you stay with the tan backgrounds, dark browns, blacks, grays, things like that. Mossy oak, real tree, they understand this more than anybody. That's the reason why it's so important. You can go to these big box stores and you can purchase camos real cheap, but guess what? The color combination might be wrong. Whereas whenever it comes to real tree and mossy oak, things like that, they use science in the process, okay? So it could be that we are hunting with the wrong camos to begin with. So I try to stay away from green. A little bit of green is okay, but you also have to understand that through the year, the green changes in the trees. It's not uncommon for us here in the Southeast to be hunting right before Thanksgiving and there's still a lot of green out here on the trees. So that's the reason why I stick to the earth tones. Now sometimes it's hard to find. You might have to go to the waterfowl section, but you can look online under mossy oak, under real tree and all that and find some good things. Grays are your best colors. Dark colors such as grays, such as blacks, things like that are your best colors. So yes, deer do see colors, but they do not have the red spectrum. Therefore, if you mix yellow and you mix red together, what color do you get? Orange. So therefore, they cannot see hunter orange. But this is important. If you have the chance to purchase your hunter orange vest, your hunter orange hat, whatever, it's best to have some type of breakup in it because deer can see a plain object, whereas the breakup is more confusing. I hope this helped for part one of what does a deer see. Be sure to like and subscribe, folks. Thanks for watching.